Hey folks, Mark with Emde Custom Fly Rods here. Just gonna do a real short video this week. Just try to keep it down, bone to the basics. Keep I guess the algorithm's happy. It is Saturday night before Easter, so I got a lot of family stuff going on tomorrow. So normally can't do a lot of the regular stuff, but it has been a crazy week. Just actually not getting them out, getting them close to being out because they do take a little bit of time. I try to plan my rods to be done, start them on Monday and finish over the weekend and then be done and either ready to be shipped or handed off on a Monday. And had a last minute request, well, not really last minute, but like a day or two request to see if I can't speed one up for tomorrow. And unfortunately, with the rain we've got going on right now, it's downpouring outside here in Oklahoma, but humidity's up and it just threw everything off. And then, in all honesty, I did not like the wrappings I started out with, so I ended up after I got about halfway done on the wrappings, cutting everything off and just redoing it, just because the individual who's getting this deserves a little, it deserves what I can put out, what I would consider better quality. So that added on another couple hours, which threw everything off. But in the long run, I do think it's a worthwhile thing and I would hope anybody else out there would kind of also understand that too. That is it's better to have a quality product and wait an extra day to get it, or extra half a day to get it, than something that is subpar. So, and being that tomorrow's Easter, really not going to do much there. So hopefully the weather will pass and be nice for the kids to go out and do their stuff, and the grandkids, although my grandkids are out of state, hopefully it's good for them. So I will start off with not the rod in the dryer, but one that just finished up in the dryer on part of it, because I have to do it in several sections. And this one is one of the 11-foot 3-weight Euro nymph rods. And bringing on in here, I've got metallic flake infused with the redwood right here, which I think it almost looks like it's a flame coming on up the way the wood kind of. As I said, the wood was kind of on the rotten side of this redwood. It was kind of some of the stuff that was left over from another project, and I just kind of got inspired a little bit because that's my whiskey of choice right now, is the Redwood Empire's Lost Monarch. And I was just kind of looking at it, and I'm just like, I've got a little bit. Let's see what I can do, and begin a little bit more free reign on this rod. So, but you can see the color serrations in the grip here. A little bit of red that goes on in there, which will match up nicely with this. So we'll get one more coat of epoxy on the outside and polish this up on the outside. And yeah, I really like the way this kind of came out. You get a little bit of flexibility still in from the rod, so you can feel it. So you can still feel like one of the things I like about the wood, but just done in acrylic. So all are interested in seeing more of this, and I'm making my own molds. So I'll be making my own different size ones. So make them from that big to that big to that big, and tip sections and butt sections here. And that's kind of more set up as a rifle round with the casing, with the way this was done. So that's one on there. And then the other one here I will show you, since it's drying and hopefully will be done first thing in the morning. But let me turn the camera around. This one is another 3-weight, but it is a 7.5 foot. And that is a beautiful grip. I didn't do it. I have to, the customer's mother or grandmother ended up making that for him, doing the wood burning and the stenciling and everything else in that, and sealed that on up. And they wanted this built onto a rod, but this is just such a beautiful one. This one that, just did a focus that just ended up coming out just really beautiful with the little bit of taking a step back and doing it right. So, and it's just a 7.5 foot. And as I said, it just turned out beautiful. And the other thing is I will have to admit, I do not have one of these 7.5 foot 3-weight North Fork rods, and I think I need to get one. I used it around a little bit. This thing is just so feather light. I could not believe it. I've gotten used to some really light rods, but just it being just the size in general. But we had some winds kind of come on up the other day, and they were just horrible. And I had this up after I got the guides kind of pre-placed. I put them on with making sure everything was set just with the on the sections that separated. I was just making sure everything was set right, and so I went ahead and threw my reel on there and threw it and just kind of moved it because it felt kind of so nice and light. And eventually, one of these will be mine someday. Eventually, when I can get to it. And other than that, we just have the new week starting tomorrow. And starting tomorrow, I've got 2 of the Iconglass 4-weights heading up to Colorado, which will get started. We'll show you what I got here. I did some of the pre-work on them, but I've got 2 of these right here. These are just phenomenal rods. These are great. And I've got the grips getting set up, and I did some custom engraving on there for the Colorado River Outfitters. If you need a guide up there in Colorado, that's who you need to get a hold of. They are tremendous. They're great. Well, I say Brian, he is by far the best. Look him up, Brian Hebert, for the Colorado River Outfitters. Facebook, Instagram, he's all around up in there. He's who you want. But these 2 are going up for him, and if you're fishing with them, you can fish one of these rods. And other than that, everything is in full production. And I have gotten a couple questions with everything going on, I guess, politically in this world and everything else, about possible delays on getting rods or parts or anything like that. And no, there is no delays. What I've got, other than if there's just an issue with getting a backstock on inventory from North Fork, other than that, there is no delays. Everything here is, when everything's American made, there's not going to be any delays. So the rods are made here in the United States. The carbon's made here in the United States. The guides are made here in the United States. The cork does come from Portugal. However, I do have a fairly good stock of it, and I don't think politically we're all worried about that much about Portugal. So, and other than that, the rest of the hardware is American. So there is no issues if you're wondering about that. So there should be no delays. And so if there's anything else, I don't think there is. So, as I said, tried to keep it short and sweet. Tried to keep it up to the point, but things happen. So, take your friends and family out fishing. Take yourself out fishing. And tomorrow's Easter. If you have good weather and you're able to spend some time with the family out fishing, do it. Everybody will remember that time that you took them fishing on Easter. So, have a great day, and I'll see you on the water. Bye.